This is the Thursday edition of the News Roundup, brought to you by EONI and Grand Ronde Hospital.
Hey, Eastern Oregon, I'm Alex McCadden. Welcome to the News Roundup. Dr. Timothy Gleason, a retired anesthesiologist who worked for Grand Ronde Hospital and Providence St. Mary Medical Center in Walla Walla, recently spoke with Brent about COVID-19. Dr. Gleason explained COVID-19, discussed his opinions about the outbreak, and talked about potential treatments.
Like I say, it was early part of March, and we were fine. No health issues. We were just, like I say, having a good old time with friends, traveling around, and got the urgent call from our kids, better get home. You may not be able to later. And I think probably it was in that process of coming home with, we were packed in an airplane and airports, shuttle cars and so forth, and just became very intense, crowded kind of a situation. I imagine that's where I picked it up. Didn't know that till we got home. We were quarantining ourselves anyway for 2 weeks. CDC recommended that after we got home since we were coming from Spain. So we did that, and then I developed, the day after we got home, I developed a fever, a cough, flu-like symptoms, muscle aches, malaise, no real shortness of breath or chest pain. But I thought, well, the CDC said you better get tested, and I thought that makes good sense. So went to the hospital, very good care there. They were very protected, and we didn't go inside or anything, didn't contaminate anybody. The nurse came out, was fully in protective gear, did my test, and came back positive three and a half days later. So, but it was mild. It went away. My fever went away in a day. Didn't develop any shortness of breath. I didn't get on that death spiral that you're so fearful of. And I was in a category due to my age and so forth where I might have been more susceptible to that than a younger person. But anyway, it came out well. And but it's very difficult to get definitive answers because there's new information coming in all the time about this virus. One of them is, well, really, how long does it take after you've had it not to be infectious? Because it's obviously a very highly transmissible virus, really can spread easily. And the CDC, or the public health, said, well, after 7 days from the onset of my symptoms and no fever and your symptoms have improved, 7 days from the onset, you're free to go into public.
Catch the full interview right here on EO Alive. Blue Mountain Translator District is getting close to launching a local TV station available over the air on channel 16.4 and online. The BMTD website already hosts footage of local government meetings and educational programming for K-12 students. Stay tuned for a channel launch announcement. For more information, visit bmtd.org/now. EO Alive TV and EO Media Group, owner of The Observer and several other newspapers in the region, will be partnering together to stream a forum highlighting the candidates for Oregon's 2nd Congressional District. Democratic candidates will debate on May 1st, and Republican candidates will participate in 2 separate debates on May 2nd to accommodate a more crowded field. The debate will be moderated by Corinne Berjotti and Chris Rush of EO Media Group at Brent Clapp Studios, and the candidates will all participate remotely. Debate streams will be available on the Facebook pages of EO Alive TV and all 8 EO Media Group newspapers. Comments posted on Facebook streams will be posed to candidates by moderators. Please note, EO Alive is also in the process of coordinating a forum for Union County Sheriff candidates. His special guest this week, former NFL athlete John Sullivan, who played center for the LA Rams during Super Bowl 53.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, it was a pleasure bringing on the former NFL All-Pro John Sullivan to our show. Here's a brief clip of that interview.
But did you have that, hey, welcome to the NFL moment, John Sullivan?
I think the first time I ever got physically dominated in the NFL was kind of a welcome to the NFL moment. And that was in 2009. I was starting, and Ray McDonald, who was a defensive tackle for the 49ers, hit me with a bull rush where he grabbed my chest, had me totally locked out, and his arms were so much longer than mine. I looked like the kid flailing, when somebody puts their hand on the forehead. And I felt like that as I just got driven straight back into Brett Favre. So in terms of getting my butt kicked, that was the moment. And then, the first time I ever saw Brett, not to sound weird here, but the first time I ever saw Brett, it was like the person that you've seen this, it was almost like a figure, right? Like a mythical figure, a legend of the sport. Because he didn't need those final years in Minnesota or the years in New York, right? He could have, when the Packers decided to go with Aaron, he could have just left and he'd have had a Hall of Fame career, first ballot, wouldn't have been questioned at all. So when he walked into the locker room, you have to realize, okay, one, I'm the center. I'm the starting center of this football team. So I have to play with this guy in about 10 minutes. And I can't be involved when I'm on the field because I have a job to do. But if you really, let yourself step back and be a fan, I was in awe the first time I laid eyes on that guy.
Fun stuff. To watch that interview in its entirety, follow the Johnny Ball Game Show on Facebook, YouTube, eoalive.tv, or the EO Alive Facebook page. We're still in the studio. Show begins weekdays at 3 p.m. Now, we don't have in-studio guests, but we've had a wonderful lineup of guests over the phone and on the computer. So stay tuned, because we're really coming after it during this COVID crisis at the Johnny Ball Game Show.
Thanks for watching Eastern Oregon. I'm Alex McCadden, and I'll see you next time on the News Roundup.